Hello crafty friends, welcome to another texture paste ideas video. I have here a piece of my pre-texture pasted mixed media paper. To create this, all I did was take a stencil and my cake icing scraper tool and push some Liquitex light modelling paste through the stencil and then remove the stencil and let the texture paste dry. And to colour my paper and texture paste, I'm going to use indigo blue luscious pigment powders. I've got raspberry, which is a reddy colour as you'd expect, bottled sunshine, which is a gold, and penny dreadful, which is a copper. So they're all near each other on the colour wheel, red, orange, yellow basically, so when they mix they won't make mud. To get going, I'm going to squirt my paper. I think I'll squirt it on the back as well, just to reduce curling. And I'll give it a good drenching in water. And then I'll take some of this and sprinkle it on. This is just a cheap makeup brush that I got from Superdrug, I think it was. So that was the sunshine. Now for the penny dreadful, the copper colour. Before I add the raspberry, I'm going to take a wet paintbrush and get these two colours to move around a bit, to dissolve in the water and spread about. Might add a little bit more of the gold while I'm here. Right, that looks fine. And now for some of the red, the raspberry colour. So these powders contain pigment, which is the colour, they contain mica, which is the shiny stuff, and they contain a binder. So once they're dry, they will be bound to the paper, they won't go anywhere. So you don't need to fix these with a fixative. I do have a series of videos called Pigment Powders 101, which contains lots of information about different pigment powders, so check that out if you want to know more. And I'm going to dry this in a tick, just clear up some of this, give this a little bit of a tilt, let the colours mix and mingle a bit more, and now I'll blow dry that. And that's dry, and we've got some gorgeous colour and shimmer and shine on there. So the background is ready. I want to make a card blank to put my background on. So I've got a piece of linen textured A4 white card, and I'm going to score it to get a fun fold card. I'm going to score it first at 2 inches. Then at 6 inches, so it is 4 inches wide along the back edge. And then I'm going to score at 8. Don't really need a score line here, but it'll give me a mark. I'll fold this one in here and crease that line. This one in here. And just looking down there, I can see that that meets up nicely. So I'm going to chop this excess bit off where I scored. So hopefully they meet up perfectly, which they do. I'm going to chop a little bit off this top edge to neaten it up. And then measure 6 inches, because I want my final card to be 4 by 6 inches, which is roughly a UK A size 6 card. So now I can chop the bottom off. And there we have a card that opens like that. Nothing fancy, probably the least fancy of the fancy folds. But what I want now is to put a panel of this on here and on here. So I'm going to use my eyes to eyeball the size. So that was 4 centimetres, and I'll take another 4 for the other side, like that. But I'm going to mount it on some black card, I think. for contrast. I'll put some tape runner on the back of my colourful pieces when I can get it to come off the tape. And I'm going to give them a border of 1/16 of an inch. Using my mini Perfect Layers tool. I always get asked about these. I pick them up in the Crafty Charity shop. Some people have found them available still new to buy in various locations, and I have heard that We Are Memory Keepers do a similar tool. So have a route around the internet if you want to get your hands on something like this. It's a very useful tool, very straightforward to use. So I'm hoping that still gives me a little border. Yes, it does. I'm going to use wet glue to stick these on the front of my card. Just gives me a little bit of wiggle time to get them lined up properly. And I do want to get the pattern correct. I think that is the way they go. Right, happy with that. So I've got two very shimmery, shiny, colourful front doors to my card. On the front of my card, I want to put a circle about there. And I've got a circular frame die with a nice stitching detail. I want the frame in black and the middle in white. So I'm going to put a piece of black paper on top of my linen texture card and run that through my die cutting machine like that. So because I run them through together, it hasn't cut through both layers properly, which is what I wanted. I wanted the white to stay together as one piece. It has cut through a bit, so not quite as successful as I'd hoped. I'll hold it together with some double-sided tape. Just trim off the excess. And I was just doing that in the hopes that it would make adding the frame onto a circle a little bit easier. So I've got the black frame here, adding high-tack white glue, and I should be able to line that up and have it all hold together. I can wiggle it a bit. So I'm thinking that's going to go on there like that, but I only want to stick it down to one side so that you can open the card like that. Take off this double-sided and add glue to the back of, let's make it the right way up. Before I press that down, I've got my rule of thirds acetate grid, and I want the circle to be centralised on this point here, more or less. Now, which way did I glue it? Like that. Now, the back of this is going to look mucky, so it might be worth cutting a second circle to go on the back, or at least a semicircle. Goodness gracious me. So I've cut a frame in the inside just out of white, sliced it in half, put glue on the back properly, and I'll add that to make it look neat and tidy. So that's not visible from the front. Do seem to have got some mucky fingerprints on this though, so I'll erase those. I want something to put on my circle, so I'm going to use a heart die to cut a shape from some of the background here. So we've got our icon, now we need a sentiment. For the sentiment, I've got a Just For You piece of ephemera. I think this must be Rosie's Studio. And it's got two little gold butterflies, which I thought went well with the gold that's already there. I've popped it on some 1mm deep foam tape. I will add a little bit of white glue to help it stick to that texture paste. White glue? Yeah, white glue, wet glue, both. And I'm going to pop it on the heart there, like that. So there we have my regular size card, 4 by 6 inches, but folded in a different way, so it opens in a different way. You've got plenty of space in there for your message. It's nice and clean, and we've made good use of that background. If you wanted to keep the card shut, because it will try and pop open, you could add a little closure, maybe something Velcro-y underneath there. Or you could wrap some ribbon or twine or thread around the card that the recipient can undo or slide off before they open it. But very pleased with that. I've got a little bit left over, so I'm going to make a clean and simple card with this and show you how it turned out. So stick around for a couple more minutes. And I'm back. This is the card I created with that little scrap that was left over. To start with, I used these 5 fishtail stitched banner dies to cut 5 ends, and then I glued them in a undulating fashion on a piece of linen texture white card, which I then cut down with a large stitched rectangle die, and I stuck that onto a card blank. So this is 4 by 6-ish inches again. And I stuck the banners down before I used the large die because I wanted the banners to get the stitching detail along this edge here and to all be nicely cut. For a sentiment, I dipped into my stash of pre-stamped sentiments. This one says thank you, and I put it up on a bit of craft foam about 1/3 of the way down the card and on this line of the rule of thirds grid. And then I used these butterfly dies to cut out 3 different sizes of butterfly, which I stuck in a flutter or a flotilla of butterflies going up the card in a diagonal. I used matte gel medium to stick them down because it dries matte, so if any squirted out underneath the butterflies, it wouldn't leave a glossy smear on the card. And I restrained them to this half of the card, so we had lots of nice white space here, keeping the card relatively clean and simple. So that's 2 quite different cards made from that same background. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's given you a couple of ideas, and I hope to see you back here very soon for some more card making. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.